You connect with people. And I remember you reached out to me and you wrote, I'm finally coming back to civil today. I'm actually reading this and back to work after what was the most profound week of my life. I want to start there because when someone tells me it was the most profound week of my life, I say, tell me more about this, because profound weeks and epiphanies and transformational things is such a powerful tool and such a something we need to share with others that may need it as well. So can you go into that week that transformed you?
Yeah. I'm still literally like integrating pieces of me that died on that mountain,
Yeah.
and all the ways that I've evolved and changed in the last like 5 weeks. It's just made such a huge impact on my life in so many different, in every single arena of my life. And so, yeah, about 2 months ago, I started receiving a lot of just messages that I was being guided into the wilderness. And so I knew what that meant. I was like, okay, I'm being called to do a fast in the woods. And I didn't know, I just kind of continued to be patient and wait for where I was meant to go, how long I was meant to go for. I don't really know the wilderness, the forest up here that well. So I was really kind of just continued to communicate with my guides, like, okay, I don't really know what this looks like. Just direct me, show me, guide me, tell me. I'm open to receiving the information of what this journey is meant to look like. So we got into mid-September and I'm thinking, okay, like, all right, team, I kind of need the guidance here. It's going to start getting cold here, like now. And so I knew if it didn't happen soon, that it wasn't going to be able to happen, because obviously up here in the Pacific Northwest, it, starts to get really cold in October. So here we are, October 1st, October 2nd, and I still don't know where I'm going. And I feel, I don't know, kind of deflated and defeated. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm not going to be doing it this year. This doesn't make sense. I was receiving so many hits that I was meant to do this. And then came October 2nd, I believe. And all of a sudden, this 1 week of absolute nothing. I had no sessions. I wasn't speaking on any summits. I wasn't holding any ceremonies. It was just like a week where I had nothing organized. It was like Source opened up this week for me. I knew when I saw that week with 7 days with nothing planned, I was like, okay, this is when I'm supposed to go. So after I knew that I was going, I definitely had some resistance, because I was like, I could be facing some pretty intense weather conditions possibly. And so I was like, so then I checked the weather and I was like, wow, there's literally a perfect week of weather for me opened up in mid-October, the Pacific Northwest, which mind you, almost never happens. Yeah. Like all sun for a week in mid-October. Generally during this time, it's starting to get pretty wet and raining a lot. And so I was like, wow, this is incredibly divine. So I basically had a friend. I asked a friend who's lived here his whole life. And I said, brother, I don't know where I'm meant to go. I still haven't received the guidance, and I need you to drop me off in the wilderness where you think is a good spot. He's like, oh, I totally got you. My nephew has traveled all over these mountains, all over this entire state, and I got 2 or 3 perfect places for you. So I was really in like a very deep state of trust and surrender that I was being taken out to the right spot. So here it was, 10/10, October 10th, and he's driving me up into the mountains. As we're driving up there, I'm starting to feel some anxiety and nervousness, because I like know in my soul how deep it was going to be. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling some anxiety, feeling some tension in my body. This is okay. Let me just breathe into that. And so I remember when he dropped me off and I put my pack on my back and gave him a hug, and he was like, brother, are you sure you don't want me to check on you sometime in the week, or do you want me to, leave some food? I was like, no, don't check on me. Don't leave me food. I literally just want you to drop me off, and I want you to be here in 7 days from now at 11 a.m. That's it. That's all I want from you. And he's like, all right, brother. I could tell he was like kind of like nervous for me. And so, yeah, I started trekking up into the mountains, not knowing where I was going to go or where I was going to end up. Again, full trust, full faith, just surrender that I was going to be guided to the right spot. And as I started walking into the wilderness, I'm, about a mile and a half in, and I'm continuing to just breathe and asking my guides to, guide me to the spot where I'm supposed to be. And so I ducked into a couple of little mountain ridges here to the left, to the right, another one. And I was like, okay, I'd gone into like 5 different spots and none of them felt right for me. And then I saw this path. And for some reason, I was like, I don't know where this leads, but I know this is where I'm supposed to go. Like I just knew it. So I hiked up about 15 minutes and there was this little ridge. It was like a little plateau almost made for a rites of passage journey. Had a 360 view of cascading mountains for miles and miles and miles. Unbelievably profound view of Mount Rainier. And so I felt just like relieved that I found my spot, put down my bag, started setting up camp, set up my ceremony altar, all my things. And when I got done setting up shop, I kind of just took a moment to really like sink into the now moment and just look around. And I was just like, wow, I'm up here surviving on this mountain for the next 7 days. So I started journaling and I started just getting really clear with my intentions and just kind of just getting really clear on why I was there and what I was there to do. And, the main intention was really just being open to feel anything that came through me, any angers, any frustrations, any deep child wounds of living a household that was very chaotic and being screamed at my whole life for many years, mother, father, anything that had to do with me not stepping into my full authenticity and my full power. I was ready to just feel it all and release it and let it go and really just come back home to my body and be this alchemist that, I say I am, right? Like I looked at it as an opportunity to practice, to practice my own self-mastery, right? As a breathwork facilitator, as an alchemist, and teaching people how to connect with the breath and the body, and knowing that their body is literally the tool, the conduit that we evolve and that we learn and we unlearn and we grow from. So when I got up there day one, I was just, I kind of just couldn't believe I was up there and that I was doing it. And I just felt so grateful for the opportunity. So that was day one.